All right, so welcome to June's plan with me. I think it's June. Yeah, it's June. Okay. As usual, I'm using Annie Steg-Gerald's beautiful art. This month I'm using this skunk. I think she has a name for them also. Yeah, okay, anyway. I'll be using that and this beautiful yellow paper of sunflowers. I think it's, or it's from a poster. And yeah, and then as usual, a lot of different collage pieces that I'm choosing out now. Just trying to find things that match it in color a bit. And yeah, using a lot of different like pieces that I scavenged from magazines or books. And this month turned out really nice, I think, with the yellow. I use really little yellow otherwise, like in my coloring pages and pencils and all. Yellow is always the least used color, but I'm always happy when I use it, so that's nice. Yeah, here you can see this circle that I just pulled out. That's from a magazine trying to sell different floors. So that's like a good tip. Magazines that try to sell floors, you can get really nice wood grain from those. I don't print out my pictures. I just don't. Partially because I don't have a good enough printer, and partially because you can find such beautiful things just in what other people call trash anyway. So no need to generate more trash or whatever. Not that I'm judging anyone who prints out stuff, like, of course. But yeah. So this yellow paper, that dark yellow, is actually origami paper. I'm just trying to give you ideas of where you can find different collage bits, I guess, but not that. Yeah. This is also from a wood floor magazine, these two pieces that I end up using that in there in that corner. And then this is just, I don't know. I use a lot of like these home decoration magazines. I like that. I like those pieces. I was actually trying to find a magazine with dresses just the other day because I found a video, collage video with like using a lot of like different pieces from different dresses or different clothing. And I actually haven't found a single clothing magazine, and I've been searching for 2 weeks now. So, all right. What's happening? I thought there were only like clothing magazines all over the place, but nope. Yeah, just a lot of garden, or a lot of food magazines. That's a new trend, I guess. Like people want to buy recipe magazines. I feel like that's a new thing. Maybe it's not. I suspect my thesis is that it has to do with TikTok videos, but I'm definitely not sure. That piece over here, like this frame piece, that's from Annie Steg-Gerald's book as well. So I think I showed it in my last video, but it's basically her coloring book. At the end of it, she has these beautiful prints that I'm using. This little stamp sticker comes from maybe the washi tape shop, maybe, I don't know. But it's washi tape with stamps on, and it's so difficult to pull off the different stamps. Maybe you're supposed to use scissors. Maybe it's just me being too impatient, I don't know. But either way, it's still, I think a lot of them get used. This sticker pack, I don't know where I got. They're actually, they're pretty stickers, I like them. They're like a vintage set of stickers, I don't know where I got them. But they're really thin, so they curl up, and they're kind of difficult to place because of that. Because you'll see me struggle a bit. I can't really see how the end result when I put down the sticker will be because it's curling up on me and I can't see it. Yeah. So here we go with another piece. introducing a bit of blue, I think. Oh yeah, and this coin. You'll see me try to place it somewhere. So that can be a bit of a sport in this video. Where does it end up? And it does end up being used in these spreads, so yeah. Yeah, that's the blue piece. I like that one. I think that one's from a book, actually. From like a lexicon. I got my father's collection of lexicons, like that he bought used, or like from an antiquariat. What's that, antiquariat? I think it's called antiquariat. Like a place that sells all the books and stuff. So, and there was like a doublet of that particular book, so I've cut it up. And I mean, hey, it's getting love like this, so don't judge too harshly. Yeah, here was the big brain moment soon, you'll see. I was struggling with that area where the picture ends, and the area that you see me struggling with right now. So like I'm trying to fill it up with washi tape, or like what do I want to do there in that borderland between the two different stories or whatever. And the big brain moment was because I knew I wanted to use this piece, but then no, not like that. There. Turning it around suddenly made it work in my head. I don't know why. Maybe someone who knows like color theory or something can explain. Or maybe it's just taste. So here's the... Do we think the coin gets used there? No. This house gets used there. There we go. And I'm using the... what is this even? The Tombow Maxi Power Tape. It's like a roll-on for double-sided tape, and I really like it. Yeah, and the coin doesn't get used there either. Here you can see a piece of that poster, and I'm cutting up a stripe to use up here. So obviously I'm not using only the like flower bits, I'm using the background bits of that poster as well. I think that makes it cohesive. So yeah, and that's also a piece of that background, just cut out in a circle with a circle puncher. Yeah, I think that's the calendar spread. Oh no, okay, so some more washi. Here we go. Oh, and I end up using a lot of these clear notes. These are from my local art store, from Akademibokhandeln. And they're like, they're called, I have a package here, it's called Sticken, so stick in, but without the I at the end, so just Sticken. Clear note, I don't know, in bloom. They're really nice anyway. They have like 3 different patterns on them, and I use them a lot in my bullet journal because I think it just gives so much interest. Oh yeah, and I returned to the title page to use some of that as well. So that's a nice little touch, I think. What I had to learn, or like, yeah, so you can fall in love with different pieces in the collage you're doing, right? And you don't want to cover them up. But sometimes it's like in writing when you have to kill your babies, kill your darlings, I think it's called. That like even if that particular collage bit is really your favorite collage bit ever, the whole might be better if you cover a piece of it up. So, you know, sometimes you have to kill your darling. So, yeah, the reason why I thought of that was that little stamp over there that I covered a bit. But anyway, here we go with the weekly spreads. as I said in my last video, I use my weekly spreads really sparingly. I only use them for events, more or less. My actual usage of the bullet journal comes in the next set of pages, which are like my to-do lists. Yeah, my bullet journal is basically just putting my thoughts or my plans, my thoughts on paper to make them more manageable, and to-do lists are the way I organize my thoughts. But these are, as I said, the weekly spreads. I think I go with 5 weeks in June. And yeah, that's just, I mean, it's a bit whatever. At least for me, like, I don't start my week on the 1st. So I always start it on a Monday. But I have been thinking of, like, changing it so that they start on Sundays. And then it would go like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And that's just maybe, I've heard like people say that it helps de-stress you because you get a softer start of the week, like mentally, or like you trick your brain into thinking it's a softer start of the week because you think it starts on a Sunday. But then I'm like, yeah, but I want my Sunday off. I don't want anything to start on a Sunday. So I don't know. And this was actually the trickiest page, I think, to get to work, because I wanted I wanted more of a blank look on these pages, but I did want a bit of a cluster over here. So I end up using this stamp. I end up peeling up that sticker a bit so that I can put the stamp underneath. And these stickers being so thin, they also tear really easily, so I've done that a lot of times. Happily didn't do it now though, so yay. I think I end up using a different little washi stamp here. There we go. And some of these flags. You'll see me have a bit trouble with it peeling off. I do fix that later on, but not in the video and not before filming the final flip through. But I put a bit of the glue tape Tombow thing underneath the stickers to make them stick a bit better. Yeah, I'm just putting some washi tape underneath that stamp. I really like these neutral washi tapes. They kind of, I really found many uses for them, especially in like my style, I guess, or in this style of pages. The more neutral tones are more used. You see there, this sticker is curling so much I can barely see what. Yeah, I mean, you see the struggle. Such a struggle. I think I end up cutting it up a bit in the end. But yeah. Oh, and this triangle. Yeah, I only show the end position of that because I spent like 15 minutes moving it around and trying to get it to lie straight. And yeah, but nobody wants to see that. So let's pretend everything went easily down and there was no struggles in these spreads. No, everything was easy and fast. This is like sped up. It's double time. I think altogether it took me, and there I did a mistake, by the way. See me use some whiteout for that. But yeah, all in all, I think this setup took me 6 hours, so 2 evenings, which is, I mean, it's the normal time for me. Yeah, I've optimized it quite a bit. In the beginning, it took me a lot longer to set up everything, but yeah, okay, coming through. That's Sergey, my cat. So like, quickly save the bullet journal before I get cat paws all over it. Yeah, and I'm using the Pilot V-Ball Grip 0.5. I don't know, gel pen? It's not a gel pen. I really like that one. I like the feel of it and I like the thickness of it, but it does smear a bit, or like it dries a bit slowly. So you see me using a piece of paper in between to make it not smear that much. But yeah, here we go with my actual pages I will be using, the note pages. I cut up some Dutch doors for that as well. That's just, I like to keep, I don't know, I like to keep all my notes for the month, or like all the notes that go together. I like to have them in the same place, because sometimes I will have a to-do list going from one day, but I'll be using it later on in the week. And I have tried rolling weeklies, or like thought about rolling weeklies instead. That's like a way of having a to-do list over the whole week, but I don't know, it didn't work for me. It stressed me out a bit, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, this works for me, so I'm using it. Like, why change a concept that works? To-do lists in this way help me go through life, so that's what I'm sticking to. So yeah, here I'm just, outlining the piece of paper I'll be using there. Then I will be sticking glue to the paper. And yeah. It's a bit... I mean, this would be messy even with normal glue, so hey. Here I'm also like careful of bending it into the crease. Could cut it up instead. I do that sometimes, but not here. And yeah. And then cutting around the pages is always the most tedious part for me. Really. Like, this is alright, but then when you have to cut this parts, when you go into the spine, yeah, so quickly speed through that. And no struggles were shown. But yeah, so now I'm gluing down that a living room piece, and I forgot it happened to stick before I bent into the crease, so doing that now and then straightening it out. Yeah, and it turned out a bit, I never use a ruler for my pieces, so things are a bit not straight, as you can see there, so I'm using this little piece to hide that. All the tricks in the book. There we go. Gluing that down and then complementing it with this little piece up here in that corner. There we go. Back to this little cluster. And this is the final home of the coin, by the way. I wonder, I should have like looked up before I used the coin what who is on it. It looks like a Caesar, or like one of the rulers of Rome. But yeah. But yeah, and that little, by the way, that little white frame thingy that I used at the bottom of that cluster, that's from Archer and Olive. So in their decoration paper, they have like a nice golden frame thing that I'm using here. And my second or third, I don't know, my second bullet journal, I think, was an Archer and Olive bullet journal. Archer and Olive is a brand of journals that's really popular and really good journals, good quality, quite expensive though, and or especially for me, like paying for shipping as well. So this year, this bullet journal and the one I'll be using next is the same one. It's the Electrum, I'm trying to see here, the Electrum 2.0 sort of bullet journal, 120 GSM paper. It's really nice, and the best part is that they sell it in Akademibokhandeln, so in my local bookstore, so yay. And here you see me move around the stamp a lot, I think. Yeah, okay, try it there. No, try it here. Try it there, yay. And then this little piece here as well. I like doing that, like to sort of where the Dutch door cuts off a different cluster, I'll accent that. And here's the final flip. So I really like how this turned out, actually. It's quite yellow and happy. Oh, and there's the piece of that wood, circle wood, that I didn't end up showing when I used it. But yeah, and I really love Annie Stagg-Gerald's pictures, so I'm trying to decide what I'll be using for my next bullet journal, and I think I've gravitated towards, or maybe I should keep that a surprise. I'm still looking a bit for if I can find any postcards or pictures that I want to use in a similar way that I'm using Annie Stagg-Gerald's pictures right now. And you can see the stickers curling up a bit, so there as well. But yeah, I haven't really found anything yet. We'll see. But hey, this is where I'll be writing my notes this month. I'll be happy. And I think I have like space for 1 more month in this bullet journal, and then I'm moving. Well, so that's why I'm already preparing and thinking about that. But yeah, so that's all. See you in the next one.